Hello and welcome to the channel. It is a primary responsibility for a government, any government, to protect the lives of the people it has chosen to govern. Not being able to perform this duty is a failure on the said government. Nigeria government has continuously failed us, whether it be security or life in general. But why though? Why it dey hard for them to do the right thing? The popular saying is Black Lives Matter, but to bring home my point, so too do Nigerians. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Nigerian lives matter. What's going on? We are compelled to raise this poser because, except for one or two geopolitical zones, the entire country is enmeshed in violence. From the northeast, which used to be the epicenter of insurgency and banditry, to the northwest and north central, hundreds are being abducted or killed with abandon and on a daily basis. The country has become such a big cauldron and a vast killing field, and we are back to the pre-2023 general elections era, when bandits, nappers, and racists had a field day, dispatching innocents in their hundreds to the great beyond. The orgy of violence would appear to have resumed with a renewed and demonic fury. Commuters are abducted at will, students are nabbed in droves, hundreds of innocents are mowed down in coordinated attacks while they sleep at night. This is the deadly daily routine. This is the tale of war in the three geopolitical zones of the north. The people are immersed in mourning. Despair stalks their land like some ghoul. Long-drawn and protracted insurgency has implications for acute hunger and food insecurity. According to UN agencies, not less than 4 million people are to face severe food crisis in the northeastern states of Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa this year. Also, not less than $396 million will be needed to mitigate severe malnutrition in these beleaguered states. Yet, we know that this sad and unhappy state of affairs has been brought about chiefly by arm-handed, greedy, and bad leadership. Bad leadership has in turn engendered massive and unprecedented poverty, illiteracy, and misery. Rather than improve the well-being of the people, the various leaderships have betrayed and pauperized them. The consequence of this betrayal is an army of youths who are unemployed and illiterate. These youths are gullible and are susceptible to being used to foment violence. Figures issued by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, shows that not less than 133 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. Of this figure, 86 million of them, representing 65%, live in the north. Also, of the 10 poorest states in Nigeria, 8 are from the north. Sokoto, which is the poorest in the country, boasts of a population in which 90.5% are living in extreme poverty. Also, by UNESCO's account in 2022, 40% of Nigerian children in the north, aged 6 and 11, especially girls, do not attend any primary school. Compounding these horrid statistics is that either out of complicity or complacency, the elites in the north have not articulated any viable agenda to address this backwardness. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who made a number of sorties to Borno State when the BH insurgency was at its inchoate stages to mediate the group's excesses, revealed at a recent book launch in Lagos that in the course of his interfaces with the leadership of the insurgency, he was told that it was inspired by poverty and unemployment. The import of this is clear. With more than 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, most of which are in the north, and with the army of millions of other unemployed youths pounding the streets, more fertile ground is being prepared for the sprouting of BH-type insurgencies. It took a national outcry and the dastardly attacks on the Kuje Correctional Center, the presidential convoy, and Guards Brigade for the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, to order the security agencies to extirpate the racists menacing the country. At the end of the day, not less than 63,000 111 lives were lost under his lamentable watch. The resurgence of violence in the country, particularly in the north, would seem to suggest that the measures taken in October last year, namely to uproot the raists, was a short-term one, designed merely to pacify the insurgents and to pave way for the conduct of the 2023 general elections. For hardly had the elections been conducted than we have returned to the status quo. We are back to a security regimen in which the raists are allowed to operate with impunity and to kill even on a more genocidal scale. Witness the recent vicious killings, abductions, and nappings in the north. Thankfully, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has identified heightened insecurity and criminality as one of the challenges that dug us in his inaugural address. For good measure, he has appointed new service chiefs and a national security advisor to replace those who served the ancient regime. While this may appear a welcome relief, it must be emphasized that this is the easy part. The real task is for the service chiefs to extirpate these raists and to accomplish this wondrous task quickly, professionally, and patriotically, so that the people can be succored and have some respite. The Nigerian state, by law and the social contract between it and its people, is obligated to safeguard and protect lives and properties of its citizens. It is when it fulfills part of its bargain in this social contract that it creates the environment for development to take place. It is also when it does that the state can demand that citizens make certain sacrifices. It is only when the country is safe that it can curry foreign direct investment (FDI). It is counterproductive to invite investors to a country menaced by gun-toting goons and raists. Investors will shun such a country like the plague. In fact, and indeed, such a state which harbors and encourages raists will be deemed to have failed, since it cannot discharge the pedestrian task of securing its citizens. Additionally, we must begin to put premium on human lives. Instead of coldly viewing our compatriots as some statistic, we should show them compassion and fellow feeling. Nigerian lives should matter in the manner the lives of humans in other civilized climes are highly treasured and appreciated. Never again should we treat our citizens with disdain in the manner of the aloof, stone-hearted Buhari years. But beyond calling on the President and Commander-in-Chief to come quickly and muscularly to terms with the reality of our heightened insecurity and criminality, which are endemic in the north, the northern governors must themselves come to brass tacks. They must rise stoutly to the challenges aforementioned. They must take measures that empower their citizens educationally and economically. Such measures will steer their people away from becoming vulnerable to racism or serving as cannon fodder for those who espouse religious or ethnic hatred. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.